Let's talk a couple things about Creed 3. One element in Creed 3 I did not bring up in the film, but we were talking about it earlier about the UFC Mexican champions. Is in Creed 3 there is a huge Latino subplot, which I think is great as far as um, the recognition of Latino boxers in professional fighting. Two things. You had a cameo, non-speaking cameo from Canelo Alvarez, where he hugs and shakes hands with Michael B. Jordan on the red carpet. He's Adonis, and he's greeting the champ. That was interesting. That was a nice little throw in. Canelo's a huge champion, and then you had the fictional character of Chavez, and Chavez was their number one champion out of Delphi that they have been training, and Chavez is training and beating up all his sparring partners. That Jonathan Major's character Dame is even allowed to be a sparring trainer partner with him because he's run through Chavez's characters run through everyone in LA. And so I think it's really cool because there's also his mom who's like a manager, and when they talk to each other, they talk in Spanish to each other. When they talk to everyone else, it's in English. But it's really interesting because even Adonis knows a little bit of Spanish. So I thought that was on point. I thought that was a nice little depiction. It's realistic. Obviously, there's a huge a contingency of Latino prize fighters. There always has been. Uh, that was really cool. The way that they told the story in Creed is that Chavez is the champ, and he's basically like, the Apollo, the big guy. And when he's set up at the beginning of the movie to fight Drago's son that you saw in Creed 2. Yes, he's in it. But something happens to Drago that he can't. He can't. It's a last minute injury. I don't want to spoil it how it happens, but it happens. And Adonis is going crazy because he's the promoter. This is like a huge event. He's got to find someone for Chavez to fight.
Hey, who's that? Hey, you keep it clean, huh? Yo, man. What you trying to do, hurt me?
He pitches it to Chavez, and Chavez's mom, be Apollo.
Hey, what's going on out here? That was intentional. You handled this. I am gonna handle this.
And give Damien the chance that Apollo gave Rocky. That's probably the only time that they that's probably the only time that they mention Rocky, right? Is in the lore of, look, Apollo gave Rocky that chance to fight the underdog, the underdog, and people are still talking about that fight. And that was really cool, because Chavez and his mom then looked at each other and like, yeah, you're right. And then they said, yes, let's run it. And of course, the story continues. But I liked that depiction. I thought that was fantastic. I think one of the wonderful aspects of Creed 3 is its identity and retention of the African American athlete, in how he's a family man, how he deals with his past, how he reclaims his name, how he deals with his father's legacy. Absolutely incredible. I would love a vaulted story like that for the Latino male in the US, like that, Hollywood.